You have an interesting take on addiction. And I'm interested to hear, because I believe that society is an addiction itself, much like the individual can avoid emotion or negative emotion, if you will, from trying to escape it, etc. May it be a substance, a process, a behavior, etc. I believe that shows up on a collective level as well. What are your thoughts on that, and what is your take on addiction?
Addictions always serve a need which has not met in some other way. So it's not a bad thing, and it's not a good thing. It's not a healthy thing. But the thing is, it's not just negative. It does not have to be punished and controlled and stuff, because I don't think you can. But what we have found is that when you change the frequency of the person, the addiction drops away. So what happened? Why? If somebody has been drinking coffee for several years and suddenly decides not to drink coffee, it's not so easy to do. And yet the person can do it and not suffer any ill effects. Why? Or a person gives up smoking this is not to say that everybody does that, but we've seen several people with either, they couldn't drink anymore. Or a couple of hours after holding the frequencies, they couldn't smoke. They didn't want to smoke anymore. Nobody asked them. I never asked a client, don't do this or give that up. It will give you up. And then because that need is met at some other level, some deep level of need has been met. And a frequency shift can do that. That's the elegance of working at the frequency level, beyond talk. Because I can talk to the person and the person will agree with everything that you say and do exactly the opposite when they go home.
I totally have been there and done that.
We've all done that, we've all done that. But when you start acknowledging and working with this deep level of the self, which I have to say, you have to have the right tools to do it. I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying it's available to everybody or anything, but all I'm saying is that these tools are here now on earth and they can be used by anyone. That's their beauty and their simplicity and their power and their elegance, that they can be used by anyone without any ill effects. But the thing is, when you start doing that and your whole field starts reconfiguring, and the configuration becomes more coherent. Coherence is intelligence, harmony, and order. So whatever is not orderly or not intelligent for the system will leave. You cannot help it. It's a lawful process. So that is my take on addictions. So I never fight them. You cannot fight them.
They just get bigger.
Exactly. Because you've experienced it, so you know. But people try and fight them, and they do use punishment, and they use this aversion, and it actually doesn't really work. It's a hard way to go. And there is deep happiness at some level of the self, which we are desperately trying to get to somehow, in some way. That place where we were always happy, where, as a small child or whenever, or in the Garden of Eden for that matter, So that place is there, and we all long to get to that place, to live in that place, to access that place. And it's somehow not available very easily. So we find it in unpleasant ways, which have catastrophic consequences. But they also give that pleasure and that high and that reaching to heaven. So they do something, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it. But it's just that the point of the optimum is not there. And there is a point of the optimum. The optimum is supercoherence. The optimum is coherence. When the system is coherent, it behaves in a coherent manner and in an intelligent manner, which is beneficial to it.